Alrighty, it looks like we are going to start up a little early. I had this planned at 2 o'clock, but of course, time calls. What is going on, everybody? Michael here from Technoid, and as promised, I am going to basically discuss the Mac Mini. I am going to discuss the Mac, and I will talk to you guys about it. But most of all, I'm going to explain to you what just went down at the Apple event, and we'll take a look and see what Apple has to bring. So while we wait in for everybody to join in, I'm going to do the quick roll calls. I'm also in the process of doing something here. So give me 1 second. Let's wait for people to join in, and we then will start this bad boy up. So I can see here so far we got a few people starting to come in. Alrighty. Looks like to me, looks like everybody's going to be busy today. If you watch this on replay, hashtag replay crew. I don't know why I can't say it. But replay crew, hashtag replay. Also, quick rundown before we start this up. I see we've got people going on. Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Russo. I am so sorry, madam, that I could not pick up your phone call. I will call you as soon as I'm done. I love you, by the way. Sean is in the house. What is up, Sean? Good to have you on. Gene is in here. Good to have you guys in. And we're going to make our way slowly. More people will join in. But I'm going to recap the Apple event. I'm going to make it quick and dirty, quick and simple. I'm not going to bore you. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm just sending out a few links here. Just wanted to make sure people get their info on this. If they want to come in, they can come in. Otherwise, we will just start the show. Now, quick disclaimers. As you know, I've been sponsored by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy has been proud to sponsor my channel, so please check them out with my affiliated link, rogueenergy.com. Use the promo code Technoid. Save 10% on your next purchase. And most of all, hope yourselves have a great and excellent day. But with that said, let's start this up. Just sending out the last bit of links here, guys. If anybody wants to join in, let me know and I'll add you on Twitter. But let's get this show on the road. So, Apple event, it's over. We kind of knew this was happening. But as expected, as kind of predicted, Apple did not show off anything. And, well, I guess you could say it's kind of my fault for overhyping it once again. But, of course, I will never learn. So, let's take a look. So this event was all about the Mac. And I'm kind of happy about that because the Macs do deserve their little praises. I got to give them a lot of credit. So Apple definitely hit the nail. And also, by the way, I'm wearing a hat. Just helps with my hair. But we got a bunch of new Macs. And they all have the brand new M1 chip, which I will talk about. We'll start there, and then we'll make our way down. But let's take a look at the lineups. What Macs do we have this year? We've got a brand new refreshed MacBook Air. We've got a brand new MacBook Pro 13-inch. They were talking about the 16-inch, but it's just, again, it's not ready. But it's good that they started with the 13-inch. And, of course, the Mac Mini, which I think, in my opinion, is the best of the bunch. But before we talk about these Macs, let's talk about that M1 chip. So the M1 chip basically is the new evolution that Apple is going for with in-house CPUs. So just like we use our smartphones, just like we use everything, this is their new generation. What's going to happen now is Apple's going to have a good integration with hardware and software, which will be a nightmare for third-party repair shops, and most of all, will probably be a hardship if you are a repair service center. But this is actually very good for consumers because for the first time, your MacBook will act just like your iPhone and iPad with a nice integration of iOS, iPadOS, and now macOS. But on top of that, the chip has a lot of things built into one. So as you can see, it's a 5nm processor. This is the M1 dubbed. It has 16 billion transistors, which is excellent for programmers and designers. But on top of that, the memory shared across the entire system with the SoC and UMA, those are some high bandwidths with low latency memory. But most of all, you can expect a dramatic advancement in performance. The main boost here is performance, GPU performance, and neural engine things, which we will discuss as we go along the Macs. But the point is, there is a significant boost in CPU, and this is a bad day for Intel. So hashtag RIP Intel, because Apple just went, "You're fired!" And they're in now with their CPUs. Now, of course, I am kind of curious if they are going to discuss the possibility of RAM situation, because I did see it on the chart when they had the DDR4 RAM. I want to know if they're going to finally loosen that thing up from the circuit board, but we'll have to wait and see when somebody buys a new Mac. But now that we've talked a little bit about the M1 chip and its processing power and GPU, and I'm actually kind of curious about the GPU performance. I really want to see how it lives up to its name. But now let's talk about those Macs. So let's start off with the MacBook Air. Now, as you know, the MacBook Air is the most popular Mac by far, by a milestone. But this just brought it up to an edge. And I made a funny tweet, hashtag follow me on Twitter at Technoid12. I made a funny joke where everybody was saying that Apple is going to give a good discount. We're going to see some lower prices on Macs. And also on there, they were like, very funny, guys. It's still starting at $9.99. And with that said, I'm going to bring in the man of the hour. Carlos S. Tech is in the house. Carlos, thank you for joining me, brother. How you doing today?
What up, man? How are you?
Did you see that Apple event? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take a look
I'm
at it.
disappointed they didn't do the 16-inch though, bro. You know, like me, I like the 16-inch.
Okay, I see. Alrighty. Well, I got some good news for you. The 16-inch is coming soon. They just weren't ready in time for this event, but I will tell you the 16-inch is coming soon. And with this M1, because now I'm on the website, so I kind of want to see how configurations look, if this chip has different cores and different things like that. So if you're going to buy, and I'll take it from here, Los, and then I'll get your opinion on this. But if, let's say you're going to start with the basic MacBook. So usually you're accustomed to a selection of CPUs, of what you can customize. Well, it looks like you won't have to because Apple will do it for you. They have one version, but the only thing that you can customize is the memory, which again is unified. So that's something I wanted to point out. The memory, I think, and of course I could be wrong on this, but it looks like they're saying unified means that it's going to be attached to the M1, which kind of sounds a little crazy, but we'll have to wait. Again, we'll have to wait for somebody to tear it down. Los, I'm looking at you now.
Oh, man. That's expensive
but you can
machine,
upgrade
bro.
storage. Oh, what happened?
That's an expensive machine to tear down, bro.
I know, but good news, you can still upgrade your storage. You got your memory. It's got Thunderbolt 4, so it's future-proof. But overall, that's really what comes in the box, and thank God they still include the charging cable and brick. I was about to say, you take that out of the box, everybody's going to lose their mind. But let's take it over real quick to the 512 8-core. So there is an option for an increase in the GPU. So that is the one thing that can be upgraded. You can upgrade the GPU if you get the expensive version. But again, everything still stays the same, but you do get a boost in SSD storage and the RAM, whatever, whoever cares. The point is, MacBook Air, $999, you can customize. But that's not only one they did. Let's take a look at that Pro model. Now, while I pull up the Pro, Los, I want to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this new ramp up of Macs, and what do you think this does? Let me hear your thoughts.
I mean, bro, this basically, if you think about it, it gives them a chance to keep everything in-house, like you were talking about. One, cost efficiency. You know, maybe we might get, instead of 2,300 for the normal MacBook Pro that's 16-inch, maybe it might go to $1,999 as a base price, or 2,000, $2,100, because it's now in house. They don't got to pay Intel royalties. And then two, bro, is just, if you can give us better battery life, why not? We already know Mac OS is very stable. It uses minimal resources. So if you can give us a powerhouse with longer battery and at least let us tweak some configurations around, why not, man? I mean, I use them all the time.
And it's funny you mentioned battery, because that was the one thing they were proud to talk about in that event with the Macs, because as you know, the Macs have consistently had the same battery life, and that is kind of in part due to Intel's processing, power, how much it consumes. But for the first time, the MacBook Pro can go 20 hours on a charge with Apple's Intel CPU, or not Intel built, I meant internal CPU. And the thing I like about it, if you look on the website, the starting configuration for the MacBook Pro 13-inch, I'm a little bit disappointed that they don't up the RAM if you pay a little more. But it seems like here, again, this is the standard configuration. M1 chip with 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine. Now, I'm going to predict and say as these things start to roll out, they're going to make different variety of chips, probably to help fit the needs of pro users, because they can't just start off with one configuration. Because if you're looking to buy this might be good for regular consumers, but for a pro user, they're probably going to want to boost in CPU. They're going to want to go 16 core, 32, it doesn't matter. The point is, I think they're going to expand it as it goes along. But the 13-inch looks very promising. It's got the same design. The only difference is the internal and an improved battery life. But the last Mac, and the one that I want to spend a couple of minutes on, the one that I actually really, really like, and I think I actually might consider this Mac as my next Mac in the future, is the Mac Mini. And the reason I say that is because for a while, the Mac Mini, to me, has never really felt the most powerful. But when I saw the new Mac Mini, how it's going to have that built-in CPU and all you need is a monitor and things like that, what shocked me was that they actually lowered the price by $100 and even another 100 for the upgraded version. And these are all within a person's budget. So I got to ask you, Carlos, while I do a quick shout out to John, what is your thought on the Mac Mini?
Bro, I mean, this opens up their portfolio for more customer base, bro. Because think about it, you're talking about maybe a mid-range PC, you're going to be spending about the same price. You know, why not bump it up and get yourself a top, updated, top of the line for the moment Mac for the same price. Yeah, you might have to pay for a monitor, separately, but now you get the monitor you want. You're not forced to get the monitor that they force you on.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is that the Mac Mini, as it's a standard desktop, you can get your own keyboard. You're not restricted to anything, and it cuts down the price by a lot. But the thing that really surprised me with the Mac Mini is, and I agree with John. John brings up a fair point. He thought the Mac Mini was dead in the water. I kind of thought that way too, the way they kind of advertise it. But now there is kind of no excuse. This thing can go the distance. Now, if we take a look at the configuration, you can upgrade the storage to 512. Obviously, I'm going to take the more expensive one. But you can also upgrade the RAM. Now, of course, the RAM is the one that's going to get you to the 1,000 price point. But honestly, I gotta say, $1,099 for a Mac Mini is actually not a bad price. But if you are cool with going down in storage and you want to go to the standard version, you can still get it for $899 with a 256 SSD. And you can have the option in the future to upgrade to storage through Apple, and they won't charge you a premium. You'll pay the exact same price. So my advice, just pay the premium and just honestly, if you want the storage, get it with them. But you're right. This attracts different customers. This is kind of what Apple's game plan was with the Macs. Because I reported the other day, Los, that the Mac sales had gone up by a significant amount. And I gotta say, this kind of feels like a revolver. Because for a while, the Macs never made up a huge portion of sales for Apple. But by opening the door, by giving consumers an option and a different option to fall back on, but using their own in-house CPUs, you can expect a discount, but most of all, there's a Mac for everyone. So my next question to you, and then we'll kind of wrap it up because I didn't really plan to be on here too long. And David, shout out, yes, that RAM is expensive, but good news, the Mac Mini RAM is removable, so you can swap it on your own, but it's a very, very tedious process. But the next question I want to ask you, Los, is of these MacBooks, the three that we have right now, and of course they're going to upgrade the lineup as you go along, which one would you be the most interested in looking into? If, like, let's say, based on what we have now.
Bro, I've always been a pro user
Okay.
when I get it, because I have the Air right now, bro, but it's a dumpster fire. It's because of the Intel chip, it just gets hot and it slows down. It's not like the Pro.
No, yeah, the Pro is usually, a lot of people say when you get the Pro model, it's usually safer not to switch away, and it's better to stay with the Pro. But I think in the case for most people, except for maybe me and you, they can move away from the Pro because some people are just not going to take advantage of what the Pro offers. But for content creators like me and you, we definitely use everything they come across. But I'm actually kind of compelled with the Mini. I think the Mini for me is the winner in the bunch. Not just because of the price, but because it's now on par with this desktop and the 13-inch MacBook Pro. It's got the same level of specs. Maybe it's a different scale, and of course you're going to have to buy your monitor and keyboard, but those are relatively not even expensive. And when you do the math together, it comes out even cheaper than the Pro model, which has a similar build. And it comes in maybe just a smudge expensive by $100 to the Air. So for me, I think the Mini is the winner. But of course, it is debatable.
No, of course. You're correct, because you can buy yourself a fancy monitor. You couldn't even use a damn TV, bro, because TVs are cheap enough nowadays as a monitor, and you're still going to be under the price of a Pro, of course.
Now, real quickly, I'm pulling up on macOS Big Sur. As you can see, we have our official date. It has officially been revealed that macOS Big Sur will be rolling out officially on the 12th of this. So in 2 days, we're going to get macOS Big Sur. And not only will this be a big update for all the Macs coming, but it will also be the first Mac, of course, with their CPU builds. Now, real quick, before I end this, live stream, I want to quickly get a list of Macs that are compatible with this new update because a lot of people say I miss out on that. And also shout out Tito. Tito's in the house. Tito, I sent you the link. I don't know if you could join, but if you can, please let me know if you want to jump in for a couple of minutes. I can resend it to you. But real quick, I'm going to pull up here the compatible Macs. Here are the full lists of Macs that can run. I just had it. I'm sorry, Los. Okay, so on iMacs, you got 2014 and later, MacBook Air 2013 and later. Pros, they're still supporting 2013, so that's good. Even the original MacBook that they had back in 2015 is still getting supported. Mac Mini as well.
No.
So taking a look at the list of what they are able to update, it kind of is surprising that they're going to keep these Macs running and they're optimized for the Intel chips, which is something that people don't know. And I don't know if you know this, Los, but real quick, people tend to think that once Apple stops sharing, once Apple starts going in this route, they're going to stop and neglect the other Macs. And I told them that's not true at all because Apple has to keep up with their Macs. And that's the case. We're seeing that as they're going to keep supporting no matter what it is. So I want to ask you, is this a good thing in your opinion?
I mean, yes, because I mean, a lot of people know. I mean, like me personally, bro, I had a MacBook Pro from 2008, and it quit working 2 years ago, bro. It gave me a 10-year run, and the only reason why I quit working was because the charging port took a dump. If it wasn't for that, it would still be running today, and that thing
Mm-hmm.
ran like butter. So a lot of these computers still run like butter. Why would you sit here and take them offline?
No, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I will tell you, my uncle actually fell in the category with the 2013 Macs. He had the early, not the late 2013, early 2013 MacBook Pro. He had that computer for about 7 years, and then when software support ended, even though it was getting the patches, he just felt like the time was right. So he went out and bought a 2015 MacBook Pro, which is a great MacBook Pro. And I told him it's a good thing because you can change the parts in there and you can swap and exchange. But the most point of all is that it'll be supported. And I think
Yep.
a lot of people really should appreciate Apple when they can support computers up to that distance. A lot of people, I won't sit here and say Apple's innocent at times because I like to call them out when they are wrong. But I got to give Apple a lot of credit for Mac OS and the Mac. They really do a great job. They really do good with software support. And I'll tell you right now, I have the mid 2017 MacBook Pro refresh, the 15-inch, and I got that towards 2018, and this thing still runs like brand new. Like I opened it out of the box. So I got to give Apple credit where credit is due. Their software support is excellent. But yep, you heard it first, guys. Mac OS Big Sur is coming out on the 12th. Make sure you get your computers ready because it's going to be a big update, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know about you, Los. Are you looking forward to Big Sur?
Well, of course, bro. I just got myself into a new MacBook Pro 16-inch. I literally just got it the other day. I haven't even opened it yet, bro, but I'm gonna open it to update it to Big Sur.
I love the way the name sounds. Think about it. Big Sur. Like you can put an emphasis on Sir. I don't know why. It's just like a meme. People can make a meme out of it. Sir. I don't know. But I'm
The
looking forward
names,
to the memes. I'm thinking it right now.
bro. They
It's
think
like,
about it. They come out with weird names, bro. You got Catalina, you got Mojave. Like we. I don't know
oh,
what names they come up with.
I like my Mojave. Mojave was actually a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that is Big Sur. It is coming out, like I said, the date is right there, the 12th of November. And of course, this brings a brand new redesign to the Macs, making it feel more like your iPhone, but also going back to the old style of the three-dimensional shapes, which I think a lot of people really miss. So if you like those schematic, what do they call those? I forgot what they called it. I forgot what they used to call it. But I will say, if you like those three-dimensional shapes, that you're gonna be happy about. Now,
bro.
real
They
quickly,
said,
what was it?
"Oh my bad, bro." They said they said it makes the ding now, bro, when it turns on like back in the day.
Yeah, they're gonna
Remember when
add
it
the
used to
ding
make that
back.
noise?
That's gonna be nice. I loved it. I don't know why they took it away. I I don't know. All right, now we're about to end the show. But before we do, one last thing to know. All these Macs will be available starting the 17th. You can pre-order and they'll be available next week. They did say you could start pre-orders now. They'll be ready by next week. Now, the last thing I want to ask you, Los, and then we'll end it, because I've been talking a lot, so I need a break. But thermal issues. Do you think this will resolve the thermal issues in the Macs?
Yeah, of course, bro. Think about it. Smaller chip. It's power eco-friendly. You know that they played a ball in it to where if it doesn't need the computing power, it won't. I think the thermal issue will be uh, better managed compared to the Intel processor, due to the fact that the Intel processor is more bulkier, and it does take up a lot of room inside.
Yeah. And also, a lot of people are saying about, the whole case. They're complaining about how tightly packed it is and the airflow. But I think with this chip, being that it's built just like the iPhone and built like an iPad, CPU, it should do well with low power. And also, shout out Magenta Speed Testing is in the house. Good to have you on. And John, yes, you're right. There's not enough ventilation through the case. So I do hope that they do address that. But I also would like Apple to incorporate a copper cooling thermal paste or something in that matter. Because honestly, if you open up a MacBook, there's only two fans. There's two fans and that's it. They really need a thermal kind of heat sink or something.
I think maybe they listen this type, bro.
I think so, and I really want to see how they do. Now, of course, like I said, they didn't unveil anything, no headphones, no AirTags, but you know what? They did tease 2021, so they did tease that they are going to bring more products, so I think that's our indication that we will see them next year. Smart move on Apple. Of course, I am shit at predictions, and I don't care about my monetization, but who cares? But that's it for today's episode. So, guys, that was a recap of the Apple October event. I want to thank Carlos S. Tech for joining in and giving his perspective. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the live stream. I know this was a short one, but I will be back later on this week for a longer one with hopefully more people, and we can discuss more from there. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure you hit the like button. If you dislike the live stream, hit that dislike button. Help circulate my videos. As always, everyone, I will see you tomorrow on tomorrow's episode of Technoid, and we will discuss it from there. Thank you all for watching, and